Yo, somebody getting a phone call over there. Little teams meeting call.
Welcome, welcome, brother. Y'all over there working and being busy. How you doing? Happy Thursday to you.
Yeah, everything's 100. How you doing?
Yeah, it looked like you deep in work mode. I heard of teams going off. Who want
That
you?
was
Don't
that
they
was
know?
that wasn't mine. I don't know who that was. I thought that
Oh,
was you.
no.
uh, okay, that was our producer over there.
Oh, look, somebody, look, he's an important person. He get team calls.
He got post the link for people to dial in and join us in the chat, the
Oh,
live chat.
yeah. Put it in the
Yeah, so this
live
time
chat.
I put it up on Facebook this time just in
Oh,
case.
excellent,
You know
excellent.
what I
Well,
mean?
welcome everybody. This is our Thursday time in the Rose Garden. I'm Sarita. I'm the second half of this wonderful sibling pair, and I'm always joined by the bald-headed brother who stay getting in trouble, Xavier. How you doing, brother? It's been a busy week for me.
Yeah, it's been hella busy here too, but I can't complain. I like it like that.
Well, I want my praise because I'm actually in the airport. I didn't want to get replaced. I found me a private gate, to
Yeah,
have
you
our
did
special.
good.
Yeah.
You did good. I give you credit for that. You did really great. So I'm glad you made it.
Right.
Glad you made it.
I just needed one attitude adjustment because I
Mhm.
heard I rolled up in y'all mugs to sneak this and on me. So,
Well, we always prepared, like they say in show business. The show must go on. Yeah, man.
but I'm one of Rose's breadcrumbs. You just can't replace me that quick.
I know, I know,
Well,
I know. You always in here in spirit.
I'm always here in spirit, and I do
Mm.
hope people use the interactive chat today because boy, brother, they did not like you last week. I guess I'm included in that unwelcome that part of that discussion too. But they targeted our conversation about religion, and boy, don't religion push some buttons? And the group chat was all fired up, and I got some feedback about the disfellowship process that we talked about. And one of my friends in the group chat said that it's really a time for reflection and practice, and they expect you to go there and they expect you to go there and really wander around in the wilderness, much like Jesus.
until
Uh,
until how long? How long is what how long is that incarceration period? You know, what I mean? That sound a lot like that experience that you had with an older sibling.
right, right,
That somebody
right,
just decide like you disfellowship, right? And
right,
they can impose a sentence term
mm,
on you, right? You know
right,
what I mean?
right,
Like
right.
they've been sworn into the judicial uh office. No, but seriously, I think that the whole thing is like honestly, I feel like Jesus kicking over the what they call it, the altars in the churches or whatever, when he was
Hmm.
upset that they was doing all
Mm,
that. Like
hmm.
I feel like the intent ain't to to appease people or please them.
Mhm,
At the end of
mhm.
the day, when we talking about these type of topics, like if people want to take it seriously, like the whole intent is to you know, quote unquote, bring souls to Christ.
Right. Well, my
If that's their intent, then they need to be looking at this stuff seriously because we know the process of whatever it takes to really heal,
yes, it
right?
does.
Yeah. So this ain't one of them. I think like the redemption, the whole redemption thing is giving the person the opportunity to feel redeemed and
Yeah.
feel redeemable, right?
Mhm, mhm,
But if you treating them like they're ostracized or whatnot, and that there's no tender love and affection or care or compassion or none of that, then all you do is further rub, you know, rub into a wound. You don't allow that
right.
wound to heal.
Well, I think my problem too is some of the worst people want to be the ones that's telling you what to do.
Right,
So,
right.
what are we doing with the when if indeed it's to be alone, to be reflective, and to get you to be closer to Christ, then how are the people who are supposedly so Christ-like bringing you to that understanding? Because clearly, when you left to your own devices, you're not making decisions that, are good enough for the collective.
Hmm.
I also think that it's
Yes, sir.
cruel. It's
Hmm.
very cruel.
Mm-hmm.
And cruel is not Christ-like, right?
Right, right, right.
So
Truly.
cruel is not Christ-like. And you talk often about my sentencing. Look, I got sentenced, tried, and then look, and then my sentence got added to. Like I got additional charges, and all I did was stand up for myself. And in that experience, what I learned was when people feel like they have power and control over you, they make decisions and choices for you that you're supposed to accept. And
Right, right.
unlike law enforcement in that sentence and in that disfellowship, I had a choice. So I was like,
Mm-hmm.
yo,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to just do it your way. I choose to do it a different way. But it's
Mm-hmm.
no matter what, it was
What's up, son?
cruel and it
Huh?
had cruel intentions.
It
That's my
wasn't her?
nephew.
What was up, son? Huh? Okay, thank you. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right.
Yeah, we had some that was my little man. Yeah, he was I
He's
know.
tall. Tell him I
Yeah.
said hi, nephew.
He just dipped off, but I will. He gonna
Uh,
come back. He gonna come back in a minute.
oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was cruel, and that cruelness was the reason why it was delivered. It wasn't
Mhm.
delivered for no reflection or a spirit of redemption. And I do
Mhm.
think that when people think they have that level of control, it it
Mhm.
it it matters. And that's the one thing about being human is we get to choose exactly how we respond, even in
Mhm.
those types of even like in incarceration, you get to choose how you respond to it.
Right,
Uh,
right. That's true. That's very true.
I'm really learning from this new role that I have and watching the incarcerated that many people take incarceration and it's a developmental process. It's not a process that's again, jails are terrible places, so bad things definitely happen in jails, but there is opportunity for you to develop if you choose to. Um,
Yeah, I totally agree. I was reading the autobiography of Malcolm X, and he had mentioned something about that being incarcerated was the best place for a person who wanted to put themselves on pause to where they could just stop and think,
mhm,
right? Because
mhm.
he's saying that you can't do that when you're in the rat race of your life,
No,
right?
you
Because so
can't.
many things are going on and all this stuff. So I feel you on that. But
Yeah.
but definitely, like I've seen the bitter hurt and pain that those types of actions cause on people. Like we said, we got a cousin that was going through that
Mhm.
Jehovah Witness disfellowship,
Mhm.
and who knows? I don't know the details as to why, but I mean, as far as when it happened was when he was way young, right?
Mhm.
So at
Mhm.
the end of the day, like I said, they don't. It didn't seem like they gave him any sort of thing like what God does, because another thing is you need to be careful how you treat and judge others, because that same thing is going to happen to you. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
what if God did us the way that we decide to do people? You know what I mean?
Oof.
Well,
Right.
I'm so glad God doesn't do that, because like I
No, me
told you, there's
too.
some things I can't help myself. I can't stop. You know what
He
I
ain't lying.
mean? And
Well,
I'm just
well,
so thankful that God allowed me to continue to do it again and again and again.
and and be redeemed. You
And still be redeemed. So I'm so grateful and thankful,
well,
seriously, about
well,
that. You
well,
know.
don't play with God now. He might teach you a permanent lesson. One of these
Oh no, no,
permanent.
I definitely I ain't trying to play around at all, because I feel like once you get that blessing, you gotta accept that blessing in full. But I'm just saying, it just feel good that I get redeemed. You feel me?
Yes. Yeah.
It feel good that I'm favored and loved enough for that. You feel
Well,
me?
and I think the other psychological part of this, if we're looking at the psychological part of isolation and being told you're so wrong, is we already judge ourselves enough.
Hmm.
Like think about just being in this human experience. I mean, just on today, I haven't had time chance to go to the hairdresser the way I want to. I've been on the road. I woke up this morning saying, I can't wait to get my hair done. I can't wait to do these certain things, so I do enough harm to myself. I don't need nobody else to get up and tell me, oh, by the way. the choice that you've made for yourself is a wrong choice, especially in an environment when, you know what, I see being amongst my new population of friends, you know, they are seeking redemption, they are seeking hope, and they are seeking lack of judgment because everything about that environment, you've already been judged. So
Hmm.
to work
Hmm.
on, so one of the things that is just beautiful in the clinic that I'm in is we don't call them, you know, incarcerated inmates, we call them patients.
Hmm.
And you know, I think one of the beauties of that was when you can see in people's eyes when you refer to them as something that they didn't expect you to refer to them as, the change and acceptance of just you being in their presence and providing a support to them. That taught me something very valuable because what if every day we were judged by what we've done wrong? And that's what people are doing every day. We're being judged by the mistakes that we made, and some things are unconscious mistakes, right? We don't
100.
always know we are hurting someone, but you know, so it's teaching me a lot. And one of
Hmm.
the things that it's also teaching me is that we really close together in these mistakes because you
No, 100,
like
100%.
I'm like when I hear some of these stories, I'm like, I don't know if I wouldn't have made a different choice. Right, that
It's
that could
so
have been
crazy.
me, you know.
That's so true because that's why I say like nobody should be trying to be self-righteous because everybody's righteousness is filthy rags, right? It's
Yes.
like it's like that you ever seen that movie Full Metal Jacket?
Hmm.
And they were, that drill sergeant, he was doing his job to, to basically uh beat the civilian out of these soon to be soldiers, right? And then
Right.
convert them over to where they would be able to follow orders and be functional. And there was one very big weak link in that chain, which was a dude we called Gorman Powell, right? But you saw all these different psychological strategies that he used to uh,
Yes.
to get the man in shape, and one of them was basically telling that whole the people that was with him, all them recruits that was with him, look, I failed, and the reason why I failed is because y'all are not watching this dude for me. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So then that got everybody. So he started. Anytime that dude did anything wrong, he started punishing everybody else. You know what
Right.
I mean? So
Right.
they would to go beat him with the sock and soap and stuff,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And then he assigned somebody to work with him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
that dude got them together. But that dude had some real mental health issues. You know what I mean? That
Yeah,
uh
he
that was
did.
definitely beyond what they could actually really do for him. Even though performance wise, he turned around.
Yeah,
He
he
started
did.
being yeah, he turned around. So that was
Yeah.
like amazing look into the resiliency and possibilities of a human being. But
But humiliation is a really big feeling. And what you missed in all of that was when he got the group, right? It was okay if he was dealing with one person. But when you made the group jump in to say, uh, you know, you're not good enough, and I'm gonna, you know, how your failings are gonna be my failings. Nobody want to own nobody's group failings. Like, come on,
I know,
you
right?
know, do you want to
Yeah.
own the good of, like, you know, look at your team. Do you want your team, which is our team should want to promote the weakest link so that they get better. But what typically happens is your team separates from the weakest link
Hmm.
and they separate from them because they definitely don't want to be connected to that weak link. But
Hmm.
realistically, they should be really working with them, cultivating them because we are only as good as our weakest link. Think about that. Like, think about how we're only as strong as our weakest link. So that person on your team, if you ain't developing them in a way that you know they can get stronger, you can't really get stronger because you're doing more work, you're getting frustrated about the work, you're missing things. So if we looked at it with some compassion and humility, um, we would be better as people, but we don't look at it that way, right? We
Yeah,
kind
I'm
of
with
look
you.
at it from a very now. I know somebody will say. In the animal kingdom, they kill the runts and the people that can't just keep
Well,
up.
I do think that though there's a place for eliminating the weak links though. That's what they do
Lord have mercy.
in this capitalistic society and in corporate America. That's what they do. I know, like right now, Microsoft doing some rounds of layoffs, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not laying off their best people. They laying off, whatever they consider the
The
weak
weaker
links in their
links.
program, right? So I do
Mm-hmm.
think there's a thing to be said about that. But definitely what you said about the humiliation techniques, I don't think that's effective. And all you gotta do is look at like a show like Game of Thrones when they had Cersei
Oh
going through talking about
yeah.
shame, shame,
Right.
shame and stuff. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Right.
And
And
then
you remember
and
what
then
she
what
did
she
to
did
them.
after that, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
she
like,
did. Yeah, she did. She burned everybody down.
yeah,
She was
that ain't
not
make her
playing.
humble. You know what I mean?
Mm-mm, mm-mm. So then, brother, so like, let's think about it. What would make somebody humble? Because at the end of the day, that's what we're
Mhm.
trying to do when we're using things like shame. Um,
Man, I think what makes people humble is when they have been humbled. You know what I mean? When they get humbled, like the thing that inflates you from your pride and ego, whatever that may be, when it's taken away from you, that makes you humble. In my
okay,
view, let's
there's some.
just say like somebody who has a perfect record of not losing, right? So
Mm,
they've always won.
hmm.
When they get that first L, like that's that's humbling, right? Yeah,
Okay,
and,
so
and
so
that
so
thing,
being so to be
Mhm.
hum to learn humility based on this model that you're proposing is
Right, and they
you have to
go
come
ahead.
down. You have to come down off. You have to lose something, is what you're
Well,
saying.
I think some people are learners that learn by seeing others, and some people are learners by doing it themselves. I and certain lessons, I'd rather learn it by watching others. I don't want to learn it myself. You know what I mean? But I
Hmm.
have seen that people had this debate, for example, like in martial arts, they always look at Bruce Lee as the top
Hmm.
elite, like cream of crop or whatever. Yeah, the standard. So then they say, you know, could like some of these warriors of today's time beat Bruce Lee, right?
Hmm.
And in my viewpoint, I think this one thing for sure. No matter who the best combatant is, he been beat by somebody, and somebody was better than him at one point in time. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying?
Hmm.
And there could be somebody else in the world that he could run upon that could give it to him, could hand it
Hmm.
to him. You
Hmm.
know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I think especially when you in the theater of combat, it's a 50-50 chance.
Hmm. Hmm.
Like I think sometimes even like when military is trying to go at each other, like
Hmm.
I see it all the time, like Russia with Ukraine,
Hmm.
the
Hmm.
U.S. with Iran,
Hmm.
Israel with everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right,
Yeah. But then you look at it and you're like, well, these people they still banging back.
right,
When you would think that they was what they say, then it's only gonna take us 2 or 3 days, and y'all gonna
right.
like, but that's thinking that these people gonna it's going to take their
Submit.
complete will of, yeah, submit. They're going to take
Yeah,
their complete will to fight. But these people, like our grandmother said, if there's a will, there's a way. And
absolutely.
you can think, they show you like you can still hang in there.
So there's some messages in the group chat. And I can't get to them because I'm in the public space. I'm on my phone. I ain't want to be
Yeah,
replaced,
that's
people.
that's it, son. Yeah.
I
Hmm. Can you hear me?
had to I had to give myself.
What's
What's
up? You
happening?
can't, you can't hear me no more? Okay, okay.